He's been very surprised that his team has not played as hard as he has expected this year, and that they had been inconsistent, if you will, in terms of energy and effort. The Hornets tried to exploit the size advantage with Stojakovic checking in at 6'10". Peja drives and kicks, and that's David West. And the jump shots are falling early on for the Hornets. Bucket and scores.
And that's where you have to go. You've got to try to go to the basket on these guys. And that's why they've gone to Stojakovic, is because Wright is guarding the point guard, Paul. They want the bigger defender on Chris Paul.
Quote on auto insurance. Into the lane, Paul. That's where he's so dangerous. Scores, and New Orleans is 5 of 5 to start the game, and Paul's got a chance, Bob, for a three-point play.
Absolutely have to keep him out of the middle. If you allow him to get into the middle, especially into the paint, but even into the middle of the floor, anywhere on the floor, he's such a threat because he can distribute the ball either way, right or left. If you can keep him on one side of the floor, he can only go one way with a pass, but that's easier said than done. I mean, we could put
those. And defense certainly was an area of concern after the loss of the Knicks on Monday as West hits.
Flush it.
He's used so much more this year than in the past. I'm talking about Hurricane Pierce going to the basket. Chris Paul not happy about the fact that he thought he got fouled. Free matchup,
which may have led at least somewhat to that offensive rebound, and it's Paul taking advantage of the second chance opportunity.
But he didn't have to shoot.
I really like the offensive flow of this game for the Mavericks tonight so far.
Unfortunately, Bass can't haul in that pass, the turnover, and Chris Paul, the league leader in steals, gets his first of the game, and it results in a basket that brings New Orleans to within.
Steals is the fourth statistic.
Jason Kidd recently passed him for 8th in league history in steals. As a matter of fact, as Paul hits the shot and will go to the line, looking for his second three the hard way here in the first quarter and a chance to tie it up.
He's an amazing player. He did not have a good look on that shot. I thought the Mavericks had some pretty good defensive pressure on him. He comes to his right, a bit of a pick right there. Dampier, a big guy, tried to put some pressure on.
1951, the first NBA All-Star game. The Eastern Conference won as Chandler gets the dunk.
That, of course, being the other way that Tyson Chandler scores.
He and David Lee.
Lit up. I remember Easy Cliff Hagan. Both those guys were great hook shooters. They really shot the hook.
There's Chandler.
Well as the alley-oop pass there.
The alley-oop a little bit more of a high percentage shot than the hook shot. Over the limit. Once again, that alley-oop. Let's see how effectively it's run here by Paul and Chandler.
I watch Chandler. He goes to the basket. He waits on Paul to come back into the middle.
Throw into Dirk. And Chris Paul, able to take it away. Paul's fourth steal of the game. The leader in that category, and he gets the finish.
That was
Paul at the point and Chandler inside. Get to be pretty good at that point.
about aggressive Jason Kidd's being offensively to start this half.
That shot off the dribble wouldn't go off the glass, and then the Hornets run the floor and get a score. Rasul Butler in his fourth year with the Hornets.
Watch Paul. See how he keeps Jason Kidd on his hip? He moves into the path so that defender can never regain control.
Tyson Chandler there for the rebound. All square at 61. Paul breaks the tie 4 minutes into the third quarter. 10 on the shot clock for Chris Paul. Operates off a pick and hits the jumper.
New Orleans is bringing screens for Paul from all sorts of different angles.
Watch the way he handles picks here. Comes off that pick initially by Stojakovic. Gets a secondary pick. There's a primary pick.
Dirk with his 13th double-double of the season tonight. Stojakovic comes off the screen. If you include tonight,
they will tell you that you cannot run after your opponent scores, and I always bring this up. That is helping his team more than he has to this point in the season.
And Bob, I think there's no coincidence that he checks in and the intensity does pick up defensively.
He will do that. He gets after it.
Shot from Chris Paul gives him 20 under tonight, and I understand they're losing, and losing big in the fourth quarter. Quickly attacking. Chris Paul blocked. Back outside, Posey for three. And New Orleans has the ball with 5:25 remaining and leading by 5. Paul, the lob, Chandler the dunk.
He did it again. Paul did it again. He went by the pick, then he
Certainly, it would at least appear that it's on the radar that he might be back.
He had a nice home game against Utah last year, didn't he?
47. Chris Paul on a wild attempt at a back tap. Chandler didn't connect, but the Hornets steal it back, and Paul scores.
That's what I was talking about earlier, guys. Chris Paul gets a lot of steals in transition at midcourt.
just blows away. Believe me, Jason Terry is very, very quick. The steal by Paul. He releases and goes the other way. Brown gives him the ball. Jason Terry trying to get there.
This year, while Dallas comes in tonight at 22 and 16, and they are in trouble here as Paul gets another steal. They'll get the breakaway score, and New Orleans has their... Chris Paul, another steal. 7 is the number of steals, but not lucky for Dallas tonight. They're down by 9.
Inside.
Chris Paul, a triple-double. That's his 4th one of the year. He also has 7 steals tonight, too, we should note, in addition to the 31 points, 10 rebounds. A 5-point halftime lead for Dallas.